Oh, tell us a story. Do you wish to know the story of Fenton, or actually, do you know what? I haven't done the story of Jack in a long while. You like that one, don't you, Daisy?
I do.
So, would you like to know Captain Fenton's backstory, which we did do quite recently, or would you like to know Captain Jack's backstory? Of how he came captain of the Black Pool, and the unfortunate demise of his original crew. Why he shook a deal with Davy Jones, and how this whole thing came to be. A bit of Jack, I think. By the looks of it. My son votes for Jack. Okay.
I think I see them.
Okay, sir. It's going to be about a
Same
5 minutes.
boys.
About a 5 minutes on this one, mate. So, 'cause it's
Yep.
Jack. Do you
No
want me
worries.
to keep the...
Yes,
Yeah, you want it on? Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, you wish to know... You wish to know the backstory of Captain Jack himself? Well, where do I start? At the beginning, I suppose. Most people see me as an outlandish fool. A captain of a ship that I can't keep hold of, mutineered by my first mate Hector. But there's more to it than that. It actually goes back as far as meeting Beckett for the first time. Now, I was a young privateer once, on a ship called the Furwind, sailing under the East India Trading Company, making a name for myself, the harbinger of rum, making sure that when we were traversing rum from outpost to outpost, that all of our affairs were in order. And needless to say, on our first venture that we speak of today, it goes like this. I was on the Furwind, and I noticed that the rum cabinet had been broken into. So I stumbled down, and I made everyone stand on deck. Even more so, I made them stand on the spirit. As I watched, two precarious figures slightly swaying. Mr. Stevens and Mr. Richter! Up to it. The two stood in front, the rest of the crew not even giving an eyeball. You do realize what you have done? You've broken into the rum cabinet. This is not for pilfering, for this rum is for trade. As such, we put it in the boo box. Underneath the deck, no light for 48 hours, no drink, no water. You can sober on your own accord. Now, Jack, back then, was straight and narrow. He liked his rum, but there was a difference between money and someone else's rum and his own. He pulls into port 3 days later with the arrival of an emergency carriage. It was sealed with wax and a very peculiar seal. There's a bee with a crown, with a swirl. So I opened it up with eager. First mate Sparrow. It's come to my attention your liabilities and all of the constant things that go on your ship, and you type a run crew. I give you a promotion to take on a said notion of contraband to be taken from the Isle of not Tortuga, was it? What was it? It was the Isle of Nassau to a select place and to return the cargo unharmed. As such, on arrival, you'll be promoted to captain. For this voyage, you'll be promoted to captain, and you will be captain of the Wicked Wench. Needless to say, I snapped up the offer, pulled out my crew, and as soon as my hand touched the wheel, I knew it was my ship. Needless to say, me and my crew, we set out. It took us 7 days to get there. And when we arrived, my stomach sunk. For I did not read the closure properly in the contract. It just said contraband. And when I looked, it was not rum, nor sugar, No weaponry or ammo. It was slaves. African slaves to be taken to England. Now, I procured a wonderful item in my travels. A lovely lady called Taylor Lama. But I'd never used it. Not once. I wanted to make my own gain. But on this selected affair, I wanted to make sure that this cargo never made port. I asked for my compass. Give me a place where these people can be free and unharmed. We sailed for 14 days, dropped them off on the island and set them free. Give them some of our provisions and sent them on. I arrived back at Port Royal to the majestic Mr. Beckett himself. Jack! Our affairs are in order. Jack? No. People aren't cargo, mate. Slap him in irons! Immediately I was slapped in irons, and I was pulled to the stocks. It was there that I saw my crew and my ship I'd grown so attached to. They were strapped down to each cannon, to each mast, and then there was paraffin scattered all over it. Not before Mr. Beckett came over with an iron, burning hot, with the letter P. He branded it into my hand. You're a pirate, and a pirate you shall be. You ruin my career, I'll ruin your life. Set fire to the ship, Mr. Beckett said. No! But it was too late. The paraffin had hit and was lit. The ship was ablaze. And it went darker, and the screams and the smell. I looked over. There was a man, semi-unconscious in a British Navy uniform, with a hat and ponytail and big sideburns. The smell of putrefaction woke him up. By the devil! He looked over and he saw the ship ablaze. Pirates! No, mate. Not pirates. My crew. He looked at me. By the devil, what's your name? My name's not important anymore. I'm not a captain. Hell, I was a poor one, if anything. My name's Jack. Jack Sparrow. Aye, if you want to call me that. Who's you? Ah, Gibbs is the name. What are you in the stocks? Ah, I fell asleep and we ran aground. I was left. I looked up once more at the ship. She was 3/4 in the water at this point. She was everything to me, and the crew. I looked over, and Gibbs had whittled his arm out and was rattling the hinges on mine. And he popped it. Jack, let's get out of here and start new lives. No. We'll go one step further. We'll destroy his life. Whose? Beckett, you're mad. Yes, I am. We disappeared into the night. Guards were searching Port Royal, high and low for us. And before we found a weird lady who told us that we could go upstream. Oddly enough, the compass vibrated in her presence. I thought nothing. But she was weird how she greeted us. Why should I trust you, I said. Because I know what you want. We I looked at him, I looked back and she'd gone. And the compass began to move. We followed the compass for a grand total of 9 days. And we travelled to a place upstream until we found an old shack. I approached the door and I was greeted by this Odd lady, but with such a presence. Needless to say, she turns around and goes, Jack Sparrow, that be my compass. No. She says, you lost everything, Jack, but you can get it back. How? Jack, I'm not comfortable with this, gives out. Shut up. I lost everything. If I can get an ounce of it back, I'll take it. Needless to say, there was a chime of a box in the corner of a crab name. You need to search out a man so tainted that even the sea won't kill him. Davy Jones. At that point, Gibbs just left. Davy Jones, what will he give me? He give you back your ship. Give you back your life. I'll do it. Jack, no. No. We'll do it. And needless to say, the compass locked onto a heading. It crewed a small crew and sailed out, but they only took us as far as the edge. And that's when it happened. That's when we saw it. For it was a ship like no other. It emerged from the water, a man cursed with disfigurement. And that was it. I knew we were in the presence of something different.
Why are you here? You're not living nor dying.
I'm here to strike a bargain. Davy,
You know me.
he said as he snarled.
I,
A lady pointed you the way.
a lady. Ah, damn sea witch. Can't get to her, never will. What do you want? What's your name, boy?
Jack Sparrow, Captain.
I don't see your ship.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to strike a bargain.
Jack, no, by the devil, look at the man. Shut up, Gibbs.
I want the ship back. I need the crew. I'm striking a bargain for you to bring my ship and my crew back. And as such, you can take me.
You have ties to the East India Trading Company.
Aye, I do. Which is why I'm here.
13 years. I'll bring back your precious ship.
Deal.
Jack, no. What happens after the 13 years? You come serve the Dutchman. Ha 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 ha!
And that was it. I struck a bargain. His slimy hand hit mine. And that was it. The deal was done. Without a listen or a rumble, a ship began to emerge right in front of me. The shape was the same. The scent of sinew was not there. The brisk and water. The colour of the ship was gone. She was burnt.
My crew? One soul is not worth a full crew, Jack. Captain Jack Sparrow. A ship you'll have and a new crew you will find. 13 years.
Fine. Gibbs. As I put my hand on it, I knew. Same feeling as when I first touched the wheel. It was her. It was my pearl. I lifted my hands up. They were sutted. They were dark. She was blackened. But she was still my pearl. And that's when I realized that was her new name, the Black Pearl. And she would be my ship henceforth, and I would be the captain. We pulled into Tortuga, trying to find the crew. We struck an accord with an unlikely fellow with a very dignifying way of walking, and his name he proclaimed as he came to sign up.
Ah. I, Barbosa, I wish to sign and become aboard your ship.
What position?
First mate I'll have, and I'll take 10% of your plunder, no more.
We took him on board. he had his prowess with the local routine. And we brought his crew and they joined with mine. I wanted to make sure we had enough money to finance us for a long time. So I set forth for an imaginary place I'd heard a lot of sea sailors and pirates alike say. Campus, give me the hiding for Island Nueta. And she locked. We sailed there for 7 days and 7 nights before a massive fog came in. And that was it. We saw it. The island that cannot be found unless those who know where it is. Unless, of course, you already know where it is, but no one did. And that's where we found it. The curse of Captain Cortez and all of his gold. Before I even got my hands on it, that's where I heard it.
Bound him in irons! Ha 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 ha! Mutiny it is, Jack. Thank you for giving us the coordinates of Island Nueta. Plunder to your heart's content, lads. Whack him in the irons and put him in the brig. Ha ha ha!
I was musing it. Not even on my first ever vessel. My first real voyage as captain. My first mate who I thought I could trust. I was abandoned on the island. And that's where the story starts. You see me abandoned on the island. I get the rum-rummers, they take me in. I just get myself a dinghy. And I rowed myself to Port Royal. And that starts with the Pearl. I hope you enjoyed the story. Let's get back on with the content. Here we go. And thus is the story of Captain Jack. Now you know the real story. How it started. I was not a pirate. No. I was a privateer. Working under the East India Trade Company. Working under Beckett. And hence why you now know when Beckett turns around and says we both left scars on each other. I ruined his career. He made me a pirate. But people will never be cargo mate. And that is the story of Jack. Now you know it. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a film of it. Hey, one can only hope. Step to it, Mr. Dozer. Let's go for another kick.